we're starting a new topic now called statistics. And I'm just wondering, a lot of you probably heard the word before, statistics. So I want you to pause the video now and think about, what do you think statistics means? Can you think of any examples of statistics? So pause it now, try and think of two things, of examples where you might have seen statistics or used statistics or what it could mean. So pause it now. Okay, so the technical definition of statistics, what it actually means. It's the study of data. Now, this week we have been looking at bar charts, and bar charts have been presenting data. So that is the final bit of statistics. When we present data, which is just information, data means information. When we present it and we want to show it to people, we can use bar charts or pie charts or line plots. We use line plots and bar charts this week. So statistics is the study of data. It's how to collect data. Okay, so collect means to gather it or to get it. It's how to analyze. So analyze means to look at the data and see what it's telling us, understand what the information is telling us, and summarize. So we summarize the data, because often when we get data, when we get information, it's very complicated. And if we want to present it to people, we have to summarize it. We have to make it simpler for them to see, so that they can see what the data analysis is telling us. So we collect it as the first step. We collect, and then we analyze, we see what it's telling us. And then we summarize it, we make it simpler, and we look at the key points. What are the key points? What's it, the main thing it's trying to tell us? And then we present it in a bar chart or in a diagram. And here's an example here of some statistics. A lot of the lads and some of the girls, I'm sure as well, will be used to... A lot of the lads and a lot of the girls would be used to seeing these type of statistics presented at halftime during football matches. So here's some statistics here. Total attempts on goal. Liverpool have 7, Norwich have 2. And we go down through all these statistics. Possession, 57% possession, and Norwich have 43. So somebody had to collect these, okay? One person or two people or a team of people had to collect all this information while they were watching the game. They had to analyze it. So they had to figure out, okay, they had to count how many minutes that a Liverpool player had the ball and then how many minutes a Norwich player had the ball. And then they had to add up how long Liverpool had the ball in the first half and how long Norwich had the ball in the first half. And then they had to figure out these percentages. So they summarized it. So all of these are summaries. These are just summed up. They're the simple statistics that people want to know. And then they presented it. So they presented it just like this. So we can see Liverpool's information is on the left and Norwich is on the right. And the titles of all the different types of data are in the middle. Now here on the right, here's a different type of statistics. Here we're looking at monthly users of different social media platforms. So this is like a bar chart, pretty much is a bar chart, except it doesn't have a line going straight down. But it does have, you can see the numbers on the left hand side. That's 2 billion people. That's 1.5 billion, 1 billion, 500 million. And then these are all the different types of social media platforms. So Facebook obviously is the most popular. We can see here 2 billion people. And then YouTube. And then after that, I think it's WhatsApp. And then very close, if not the same, is Messenger. And then there's this one called WeChat, which I've never used before. So maybe it's being used in a country in Asia or in America. But I don't think we've used it. We use it in Europe. And then Instagram, and then Twitter. And then down the very bottom is Snapchat. Now, this is 2017. But these are statistics but they've been presented. We don't know how they collected this data. We don't know how they analyzed it. We know they summarized it so that we could see it like this, so that we could see each category, each different types of social media. We could see how many people use it. But presenting it, they presented it using a bar chart. Okay, so here's another example. Again, presented like similar to a bar chart or line plot. Who are Snapchatters? So these statistics tell us that the majority of people who use Snapchat are 18 to 24 years old. And then you have people in their 20s, and then people in their teens, and then people over 35. So these are statistics. These are telling us who uses Snapchat the most, what type, what age of person. And here's another one telling us, Instagram stories versus Snapchat daily active users. So we can see here, Snapchat is this line here. Snapchat has been using daily active users, or it's been using these type of things. I actually don't know anything about Snapchat. I'm embarrassing myself here. But you can see here, Snapchat's been steady for a long time, ever since 2014. This is 2015, 2016, 2017. But Instagram, when they entered towards the end of 2016, because here's 2016, here's 2017. So here Instagram entered and started using stories. So when that happened, you can see how popular Instagram became really quickly. And now Instagram stories are much more used than Snapchat. It's 250 million versus 166. These are all statistics. This is another example of presented statistics. So where do people get data? I want you to pause the video for a sec and have a think about where different people get data. Like, how do we get this information? So pause the video now and just have a think. Okay, so let's see if you said surveys. The number one way of collecting data is to do surveys. So asking people questions and then recording what their answers are. Other ways of getting data, you can do experiments. So a lot of scientists would do experiments and then record what information they get, what data they get. But the most common way is surveys, and that's the one that we're going to be learning about and we're going to be looking at over the next week or so. And I want you to actually be able to make your own survey as well. So we use a survey to get data, and we do it by asking questions and then recording the answers that people give us. An example would be a very simple example. If we wanted to ask people their favorite color. So say I've decided that I'm going to ask friends, or I'm going to ask all the first years or all the second years or the whole school, or maybe I'm going to ask everybody in Ballymun, or I'm going to try to ask as many people in Ballymun as possible. And I'm going to see what people's favorite colors are. And I want to find out which color is the most popular and which is the least popular. What I would do is I would go around places. Say I decide to ask all second years. I might, during my maths class, I might go to all the different classes and I might ask the teacher, could I record the data and ask kids to put up their hands whose favorite color is red, and say 3 people put their hands up. I make 1, 2, 3, and maybe blue, maybe 6 people put their hands up. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for 5 I do this, and 6. So this is called tallying. Do you see the way I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5? This makes it easier to read. Say if we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This here is much easier to read than if I was writing a load of lines. If I just wrote a load of lines like this, I'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whereas here I know that this is 5, so that's 5, 10. Okay, 10, perfect. So when we're writing tallies, we do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say I want to write a tally that has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I know that's 5, 6, and 7, and so on. Now, we would collect the data using a tally sheet or using a survey, and then we would analyze the data. We would look at the data. And after we've analyzed and summarized, we might make a bar chart that looks something like this. So we might display, okay, blue is the most popular color. You can see here 10 people said blue was their favorite color. 9 people said purple was their favorite, and then green is 8. And we've presented the data in 2 ways. We've used a bar chart, we have a table here, and then we have answered our questions. We found out which is the most popular by counting the most votes, and we figured out which is the least popular by figuring out the least votes. Okay, so after I've told you all that, I want you to have a look at the document that I sent in the email and try and answer those questions for homework today.